Good evening and welcome to Frank Almo's Visual Audio Readout. I'm Saloma Dedra, your host and guide through the vast treasures of knowledge read for your enjoyment. Each week, celebrities and those verbose in the higher realms read to you live, unedited, from the rarest books in the world, courtesy of Frank Almo's prized personal library. So please, sit back, enjoy, and may wonder and truth fill your heart.
Also, the herb cinquefoil being gathered before sunrise, 1 leaf thereof cures the ague of 1 day, 3 leaves cures the tertian, and 4, the quartan ague. Rape seeds, sown with cursings and imprecations, grows the fairer and thrives, but if with praises, the reverse. The juice of deadly nightshade, distilled and given in a proportionate quantity, makes the party imagine almost whatever you choose. The herb nip, being heated in the hand, and afterwards you hold in your hand the hand of any other party, they shall never quit you, so long as you retain the herb. The herbs aftermart, comfrey, flaxweed, dragonwort, adder's tongue, being steeped in cold water, and if for some time, being applied on a wound or ulcer, they grow warm, and are buried in a muddy place, cureth the wound, or for to which they were applied. Again, if anyone pluck the leaves of a sarabaca, drawing them upwards, they will purge another, who is ignorant of the drawing, by vomit only, but if they are rested downward to the earth, they are purged by a stool. A sapphire, or a stone that is of a deep blue color, if it be rubbed on a tumor, wherein the plague discovers itself, before the party is too far gone, and by it be removed from the sick, the absent jewel attracts all the poison or contagion therefrom. And thus much is sufficient to be said concerning natural occult virtues, whereof we speak in a mixed and miscellaneous manner, coming to more difficult heads anon. Page 30, Chapter 3, of Amulets, Charms, and Enchantments. The instrument of enchanters is a pure, living, breathing spirit of the blood, whereby we bind or attract those things which we desire or delight in, for that, by an earnest intention of the mind, we take possession of the faculties in a no less potent manner than strong wines beguile the reason and senses of those who drink them. Therefore, to charm is either to bind with words, in which there is great virtue, as the poet sings, words thrice she spake, which caused, at will, sweet sleep, appeased the troubled waves and roaring deep. Indeed, the virtue of man's words are so great that, when pronounced with a fervent constancy of the mind, they are able to subvert nature, to cause earthquakes, storms, and tempests. I have in this country, by only speaking a few words and use some other things, caused terrible rains and claps of thunder. Almost all charms are impotent without words, because words are the speech of the speaker and the image of the thing signified or spoken of. Therefore, whatever wonderful effect is intended, let the same be performed with the addition of words significative of the will or desire of the operator. For words are a kind of occult vehicle of the image conceived or begotten, and sent out of the body by the soul. Therefore, all the forcible power of the spirit ought to be breathed out with vehemency and an arduous and intent desire, and I know how to speak and convey words together, so as they may be carried onward to the hearer at a vast distance, no other body intervening, which thing I have done often. Words are also oftentimes delivered to us, seemingly by others, in our sleep, whereby we seem to talk and converse, but then no vocal conversations are of any effect, except they proceed from spiritual and occult causes. Such spirits have often manifested singular things to me, while in sleep, the which in waking I have thought not of, until conviction of the truth taught me credulity in such like manners. In the late change of administration, I knew at least 5 days before it actually terminated that it would be as I described to a few of my friends. These things are not alike manifested to everyone, only, I believe, to those who have long seriously attended to contemplations of this abstruse nature. But there are those who will say it is not so, merely because they themselves cannot comprehend such things. However, not to lose time, we proceed. There are various enchantments, which I have proved, relative to common occurrences of life, visibly a kind of binding to that effect which we desire, as to love or hatred, or to those things we love, or against those things we hate, in all which there is a magical sympathy above the power of reasoning. Therefore, those abstruse matters we feel, are convinced of, and reflect upon, and draw them into our use. I will here set down, while speaking of these things, a very powerful amulet for the stopping, immediately, a bloody flux, for which, with a faith, I dare say, lay down my life for the success and entire cure. An amulet for the flux of blood. In the blood of Adam arose death. In the blood of Christ death is extinguished. In the same blood of Christ I command thee, O blood, that thou stop fluxing. Let the party who pronounces these words hold the other's hand. In this one godly superstition there will be found a ready, cheap, easy remedy for that dreadful disorder, the bloody flux, whereby a poor miserable wretch will reap more real benefit than in a whole shop of an apothecary's drugs. These 4 letters, Yod, He, Thou, He, are a powerful charm, or amulet, against the common ague. Likewise, let them be written upon a piece of clean and new vellum, any time of the day or night, and they will be found a speedy and certain cure, and much more efficacious than the word abracadabra. However, as that ancient charm is still, amongst some who pretend to cure agues and company, in some repute, I will here set down the form and manner of its being written. Likewise, it must be pronounced or spoken in the same order as it is written, with the intent or the will of the operator declared at the same time of making it. Chapter 4. Of unctions, philters, potions, and their magical virtues. Unguents, or unctions, collieries, philters, and company, conveying the virtues of things natural to our spirits, do multiply, transform, transfigure, and transmute it accordingly.